the final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun.
Lauletta now to throw it. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 65 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
26.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He can run for it, and he will. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. His pass caught with the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Giants ready to come out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now here's Lauletta. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Hot. Woo! You got him. You got him. You got him. All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, Lauletta. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Packers get set to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Looking low. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
This defense porous so far in this 1st quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd and 10, Lauletta. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Michael Bannon, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, here we go.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Here we go now.
Lauletta. Trying to lay one up deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he
And got his man complete. 20. 10, touchdown, Packers. Tyreek Hill, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Packers add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 20. 21-yard line. And now out come the Giants. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, Lauletta. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All right, here we go.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
From the gun, here's Lauletta. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. This is Lewis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Lawletta. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kyle Emanuel. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run with Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They try again with Lewis. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Now a toss play to Lewis. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And a curious play call here, to say the least. Thought it might be a trick, but no, he actually goes down to a knee. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. And surprisingly, they take a knee. I have no idea why they would take a knee, but they take a knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Lauletta on 1st down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit! Detroit!
Now Lauletta on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Carroll. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Barkley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
All right, here we go.
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kyle Emanuel in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now it's Lauletta. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Desmond Bryant. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Eddie Pleasant in on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Off the play fake. Here's Taylor. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Lewis. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They go play action now. Taylor. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run with Lewis. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They run. This is Lewis. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. On 3rd down, it's Lewis. And he's got some space here. Dion Lewis. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And they will take a knee here. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
4 down. Alert. Here we go now.
And they take a knee. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes.